Hello, world. This is HRF Racing. I'm here with my brothers and my father. We have decades of horse racing experience handed down. I think the first thing that we did before we learned to walk was handicap horses. No doubt about it. I was born right across the street from Freehold Raceway. Boom, handicapping specialists. We got the pads, we got the PPs, we got the Monmouth Park hat, and some real great conversation about the Travers, which brings us here today. We plan to target some races and do this throughout the year. We're going to start here. We love the Travers. We love Saratoga. Prettiest track that I've ever been to, and I got to say there's a lot of pretty tracks out there, but this one for sure is the nicest. And this is a huge race. We want to get into it. What we're going to do is kick it right off, and I'm going to have Brother Glenn break down what we're about to see.
All right. We got the Run Happy Travers going forward. It's a $1.2 million purse. This is called the Midsummer Derby here in Saratoga, New York, right outside of Albany there. So we're going to run down the field of 8 3-year-old thoroughbred horses right now, starting in post position order as they go in. Just before we get started, the top 3 runners. No, come on, take a hike. I got Joe filming me. The top 3 the top 3 runners from the Kentucky Derby are in this race, okay? It's important to know, okay? So as we go through this, that's important to remember. So the number 1 horse is Cyberknife, okay? At a gun runner, okay? We got Brad Cox trained, and we have Florent Giroux up in the irons. Rich Strike at a Keen Ice, okay? We got trainer Eric Reed, Sonny Leone up in the irons.
Kentucky Derby winner.
Kentucky Derby winner. Thank you for reminding me of the horse on Dad's 80th birthday that went off at 80.80 cents to 1 to win, and we ain't got a dime on it on his 80th birthday. Next up, Ain't Life Grand. Well, Ain't Life Grand. Out of, not this time, trainer Kelly Von Hemmel. No idea who he is. Seems like a decent trainer out there in Iowa, Prairie Meadows trainer. Tyler Gaff Leone up in the irons, first time on the horse. Next up, Gilded Age. William Mott, one of the great grass trainers in the country. At a Maglio Adora, up in the irons, Junior Alvarado. Number 5, Artorius. At Arrogate, Chad Brown trains. I Ride Ortiz up in the irons. 6 horse, Epicenter. Not this time. Steve Asmussen trains. Joel Rosario in the irons. That's the favorite right there. Number 7, Early Voting. At a gun runner again. Chad Brown trains. Jose Ortiz up in the irons. And last but not least is number 8, Zandon. Sire's Upstart. Chad Brown trains again. Flavion Pratt up in the irons. That's nice. Your 8 runners in the Travers Stakes. This is a very tough field. It's going to be tough to find a winner, but we're going to do the best we can to find one.
Glenn, I want you to break something down for me about this track. How long is this race? How many turns is this race, and how much do you win?
This is the classic distance. They're running 1.25 miles on the dirt. Okay, so it's the same exact distance as the Kentucky Derby. No different. Okay. That's pretty much just what it is. Different racetrack as Churchill Downs. Churchill Downs is running a mile.
What's the purse?
The purse is $1.2 million.
$1.2 million to split. I bet you every horse in this race is going to get some money. I think the other thing to factor in is the weather. This is going to be a little under 80 degrees. It's going to be dry. Glenn, I know you talked about had heavy rains today. They took all the horses off the grass, preserve it for tomorrow, and that's going to be some things you got to think about, when you're handicapping. And hey, we know there's a lot of handicappers out there in the world. We want to try to reach everybody, and dial you in. So what we're going to do is give a little breakdown of our bets. Now, I know we all talked about who might go first. Dad, it seems like you're itching to go first, man. So if you're ready to go, let us have it.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to box the horses from 1 to 8 on a box to win.
Perfect. Should have did that.
Okay, let's do the first horse. And why
Let's
would
just
he
highlight-
win?
Hang on, let's just highlight that Dad or Pop is a chalk-eating weasel, and we'll go into his picks.
So real
All
quick,
right.
real quick, Dad, it's 2 horses and a long shot.
Okay.
All right.
Two
all we
horses
got.
and a long shot. And
So
we
the
want
two
you betting the
horses
amount.
that I like, and I think that
Start with
Chad
your first
Brown
one.
wants to win this race.
Okay.
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 Who
So
wants to win it?
who?
Who wants to win the race?
Chad Brown. He's the trainer. Okay. And I like the 5 horse. He's by
Artorius.
Arrogate, and Arrogate, his father won this race about 5 or 6 years ago.
Hmm.
The trainer on him was Bob Baffert, came from California with this horse and zoomed by everybody and won. The second horse I like is the 8 horse. I think they're taking turns.
Hmm.
Okay. The 6 horse, the 7 horse, and the 8 horse are taking turns winning. The 8 horse hasn't won yet. So let's pick him. Okay. And my long shot would be the 4 horse. Okay. And the reason I'm picking him is, why would you send a horse like that over to Dubai and cost you $20,000 to run him in a race, and he didn't do anything? I mean, he's
Came back
got
and
no
won at Churchill,
recognition
too,
by
though,
going
which,
over to Dubai.
Kind of interesting.
Right. But if you look at the PPs on the horses, that's how the horses ran. The only race that he did not come into money was over in Dubai.
I don't know about that.
Take a look.
Is that true?
Oh man, fact.
Ran at Churchill Downs, finished 8th. Saratoga finished 6th. Keeneland finished 5th. As he started.
I think you're on the wrong race on the PPs.
They got what they were.
Although I've done that
But
before
that's my
once, so
long
that's
shot.
always nice.
My long shot is the 4 horse.
So every race has a 3-year-old that horse hasn't missed. Okay.
So, Dad, what's your bet going to be?
What am I going to bet?
$5 win play show on the 5? 5 to 5?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, $5 win play show on the 5. Not getting fancy with it like you normally do.
Well, then I want an exotic one. I want to bet the 1, the 4, 5, and 8
I mean,
on the 50-cent try.
All right, so
the magic
fine.
bobbleheads
1, 4,
are
5, 8.
questioning your bet.
Pardon
They're
me?
trying to maybe.
all right, so you're picking the 5, 1, 4, 5, 8 try. We'll give it to you. I know it's a little bit out of the parameters, but it's fine. You know, and then like your surefire bet is the $5 win play show on the 5. You know, get the best odds out of that one. You know what? Let me slide in next, and then Glenn. I know we talked about you holding down the fort, and then Brad will give you a chance to go, and you guys can get in a little bit more depth because we got some time. So the one thing for me is this Jim Dandy race that just makes me feel that the 6 horse is the best horse in the field. And for sure, during that Jim Dandy race, that horse, you know, so there's 4 horses in that race, and Epicenter ran behind everybody, and then during the straightaway, he just ran past everybody. So I can't believe that the 7, the 8, and the 6 are going to beat this horse. In the past, that has happened, but those races, like in the Derby, there was more traffic. There was just different ways to try to get to the front that weren't so clear. But it seems pretty obvious that if Epicenter makes that last turn, ends up in the middle of the track, and everybody's within some kind of distance, it's going to pass him by. The thing about this is, for me, I like Cyberknife. I think it's a beautiful horse. Gotta love it. It's a picture-perfect horse, actually, if you ask me. And Cyberknife and Epicenter don't have a ton of head-to-head races together. They had, LeClement race where, Cyberknife just faded out down the stretch. But since then, this horse has been very formidable. I'm going to throw out the Kentucky Derby. Wasn't a really good show. But if you really take that out, this horse just stalks everybody down the straightaway. So if I were to guess, I'm going to think Cyberknife and Epicenter are going to go toe-to-toe at the end of this race here. So that's my 1 and 2. And my bet for this one is just going to be a $5 win play show on the 1. I think you get better odds with Cyberknife than Epicenter. We'll see how that really works out. But I think Epicenter is going to bet down so hard that I don't want to touch that bet because you're going to bet money and then lose money, So I'm going to go with the 1, $5 win play show. And my long shot, it's hard to say like a long shot because there's not that many long shot horses in this race. If you're going to go to 3 or the 4 of the long shots, but I can't even go with them because I don't have faith in them. You have this 3 horse over here that the jockey bailed on it. I don't understand. Like at the last second, you just switch the jockey, even though that horse won, recently and has some pretty formidable wins recently and for some big money. It's hard to try to figure out why that jockey abandoned this post. Maybe he had to go to a wedding. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't think the horse got it. Maybe he has another, mount someplace else with something better. I don't know what's better than the Travers right now. But I got to rule that out. It's like a bad omen when that happens. The same jockey on them for 6-7 mounts, and all of a sudden, boom, they're off. Something happened. Who knows? Maybe somebody had an argument, and this horse just really continues on its streak and takes it. But I don't think this is a real long shot. But, I'm with Pop on this one, and that's why I'm going to go with the 8 horse as my long shot, which I think is going to have better odds than the other ones. And really because, they are kind of taking turns. Like back in the day, you had like those horses, hard spun and curling and all these great horses banging versus each other. And, we saw that class of horse and, what their body of work was over the long term. So, which is really impressive stuff. So that's going to be my long shot.
All right. B-Rad Izzle.
All right. There you go. I'll clap for Dan. All right. So I kind of take a different approach. I think I've been mushed here because I'm picking exactly what Dad picked. But so I did a little bit of watching the Saratoga race today. Very, very muddy out there today. And kind of grab some information. And everybody on here knows I play the how to beat the favorite in every race. That's kind of my strategy. Every now and again it works. Most times it doesn't. So that's what I'm doing here is how to beat the favorite and convincing myself that there's a reason to do so. So Epicenter, we look at that horse's body of work as a 3-year-old. If he wins this race, he's the best 3-year-old this year. Absolutely no doubt about it. The only thing is, right, he won the Jim Dandy. It was a 4-horse field. It's a grade 2 race. How impressive is beating 4 horses? So yes, that I think it was a warm-up, and I think Dan's right. Discredit the other horses in the field because if they can't, he kind of jogged behind them and then blew their doors off in the beginning. Here's one thing to take into account, though. Steven Asmussen has never won the Travers before. So I heard that today in watching the races there from Saratoga. So that's pretty critical because it's not the first horse he's had in the Travers, but he's never won there. So that's a big consideration for me. So that's why I take Epicenter out of that one. So that's my thought. That's the favorite. That's my logic in beating the favorite. Rich Strike. Unless your name is Rich and you're sitting next to us at Monmouth Park, you ain't betting that horse. I don't care who you are or what it is. That horse shouldn't have won. The stars aligned for that horse. The Kentucky Derby ran at a pace where he got to close and beat everybody's doors off. That's not going to happen here at the Travers. Saratoga isn't that kind of track, and there's not that big of a field. And one note on that, horses that ship into Saratoga to run. So horses who aren't at Saratoga or haven't run at Saratoga don't fare well. We go to one of the best horses of our generation, American Pharoah. They tried to ship American Pharoah in, and he didn't win. So that's a big note for me when you look at horses that are shipping in and haven't run at Saratoga before. And of course, Cyberknife won the Haskell. That's about a month ago. That's our home track at Monmouth. So I kind of like that horse. But who I go with, I got to go with Irad Ortiz, jockey, and the 5 horse. I believe Chad Brown.
Ortiz Jr.
Yeah. So I believe in Chad Brown. I think he's going to win this race. I think the 5 horse. And one thing, the reason I mentioned the muddy conditions today, because Cyberknife running from the rail is very, very tough. That water runs off. Even if it's going to be a good track tomorrow, that inside rail is very heavy. So he's got to push that horse out somewhere. I don't think you could run the rail and win this entire race. So my pick for this race is the 5. I like Chad Brown. He's been at Saratoga. He's won there. It's a young horse. Hasn't raced against this competition level before. He did run against one of the horses in here. But I do think that this horse is constantly improving. He's young. It's only his 4th race. But I think kind of sky's the limit. When you get an Ortiz on your horse, that means something for you. So that's my pick, is the 5. And then I kind of I go with Dad too with the 8. I like the 8 as my second choice because I think he was pointing at this race. Had a couple races, and I think they really geared him for this Travers. They put him on Saratoga before. So my pick is the 5-8 combo. I'm going to box that on a $5 exacta. And I'm going to play beat the favorite on that. And I'm going to, Rich Strike is not a favorite. It's just a name. Hopefully everybody rich bets on him and we get some money in the pools today. But I think Cyberknife is kind of behind the gun on this, running in the deep stuff. And, Epicenter, I just think Steve Asmussen not winning one is a big factor in here. And sometimes the trainer is a very big influence in the winner of the race. So I got the 5-8 combo. And my long shot, I don't have one. Like you said, there's 8 horses.
Throwing it out.
If we're going to, I don't know, you kind of throw that blindfold on, flip a coin, and pick anybody who's over 20 to 1 and put $5 on them just in case the conditions are right.
Yeah, you only got a couple options there. And, I'm going to throw something at you here, too, about trends. When I was doing a little research, there's only one person, jockey or trainer, that has won this race before. And that is the trainer of Cyberknife. So regardless of, that's a really good fact that you bring up. But regardless of the fact that horses don't run well who haven't spent some time at Saratoga, I just have a feeling that B. Cox over here has got a trick up his sleeve. He knows what he's doing. He's been here before. Obviously, it was last year. So I have a little bit of faith in that, but you never know. I think your point about being on the rail, that's a really good one, and I'm really scared of him being on the rail and getting trapped in there and not being able to pop out for sure. That's definitely a huge concern of mine.
Could I say something?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Okay. Being in the one post, Cyberknife being in the one post, that's what he was at Monmouth Park.
What?
That's what he was at Monmouth Park when he won the Haskell.
What was he?
He was post 1.
That's true.
And what they were saying is that horse, if he's on the outside, like he was post 7 or 8, he starts to look at the people in the stands. Being on a rail, he's going to have a whole bunch of horses that he's looking at. So they figured that he might run better being on the rail. But
interesting.
But he didn't run the whole race on the rail at the Haskell. He ran when he was coming into the stretch. He went on the rail.
The real scary thing about Cyberknife, and Glenn, I know you're ready to go, but the last 2 races he barely won. So he's going to have to chase some really fast horses to this finish line. And if it's a fast track, it's going to be really interesting. Glenn, kick it off.
All right, I'm a little upset that nobody's played early voting. Chad Brown's horse, who put away Epicenter in the Preakness easy. And I'm not going to play him either, but I'm going to tell you right now, that horse all day long.
All right, everybody, bet that horse because Glenn's going to regret
I did that because of the Jim Dandy, man. It's so hard, That horse was really running strong in the Jim Dandy, and Epicenter just took him away. Are they just letting him go? Like, you don't run a race to let other horses win. It's just what it is. So that's my logic for it. That's the reason why. But yeah, you're right. That's a stud horse right there, and absolutely has a shot.
Yep, he bobbled at the break and was bumped at the start in one line that I had, 3-4 wide, and the other run line that I had. Everything seems like just ripping that race, 4-horse field, weird field. Can't handicap a 4-horse field, man. It's just a mess. But anyway, nobody's got early voting. Let me move on. Cyberknife is my horse. I'm going to play him all day long. It's probably not going to win the race. Love his running style. He's a tough horse. He's a grinder. If you throw out the Kentucky Derby and the Le Comont race at the fairgrounds, all he does is win, win, win. Okay, just draw a line through those two races. He's going to be in this race. So he's going to finish first, second, or he's going to be in the last place position, and it's going to be another draw a line through the race. So I'm going to take Cyberknife for the money all day long. Brad Cox knows how to get it done. Florent Giroux up in the irons. I'm going to take him. I think I'm going to change my position here because it is early voting, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play early voting for number 2. I was going to go with Zandon, and I think the racetrack is going to help Zandon tomorrow after the rain today. I think the rain is going to speed the track up tomorrow morning. Everything is going to dry out, and I think that Zandon's going to get in there. But just for the simple fact that nobody played him, I'm going to take the 1-7. Okay, so I'm going to take right off the bat. I'm going to go with the 1 and the 7. But I really want to get into my long shot. Okay, and Dad made a comment of it the other day, yesterday when I listened to his thing. Epicenter and Ain't Life Grand have the same exact sire. Okay, so I did some research on the Dame. Okay, and the Dame of Ain't Life Grand, that group bought for $45,000 at auction, and they bought it at $45,000. It was in foal to Fort Leonard, who won over $4 million as a racehorse, and they sold that horse right away after it was born. They sold it out, and that horse broke its maiden first asking, and it looks like something happened to him. And now we got Ain't Life Grand, all right, as this long shot in this race. I got some notes here. The Dames never raced before, right? So they bought that horse for $45,000 unraced, and it's a homebred horse. It's an Iowa-bred horse, and I'm going to go back to the jockey real quick. This guy Gonzalez that you say he's got to be on this guy and, all this, I get it. Rich Strike ran at the Belmont with Sonny Leone. They gave him the shot. Guess what Sonny Leone did over in Belmont Park with his Kentucky Derby winner? He's never raced at Belmont Park before. So the owners say, we got to give this guy a shot. Mistake. Belmont, nobody knows how to race that track unless you run on that track. Huge mistake by the owners. Now, what you do as an ownership group, you talk to the jockey and say, hey, listen, we're going to grab a jockey from Saratoga who can get on this horse, and we're going to take care of you. And when we bring the horse back, he's going to be yours again. But up there, for this race only, and this race alone, we got to give it to a guy who knows the track. It's the right.
Really? You think they're hiring a specialist? That's what it is?
100%. He knows Saratoga. This horse is the livest long shot I've ever seen. My problem with him is owner, trainer, everything about him. But he won the Iowa Derby easy, hands down, right? And he wasn't supposed to. And that rating on that race was tough. $250,000 race. It was a tough race. There was a lot of good horses in that race.
Yeah, I know. And then the last race, he blew him off. He blew the doors off. You know what? If you're saying that, that's my long shot now.
All right. So
because the thing is, his last race, he won by 7 furlongs. I know it wasn't a big time race, but
registered Iowa breds, trash, but it's a workout. So you take that race as a glorified workout. That's all it was. It was a workout before the Travers. Can he win? I don't know, but I love him to hit the board. I think he's live all day long. He's a homebred. He didn't buy him at auction. He's not one of these horses. You look at all these horses, what they pay for him. Rich Strike is a homebred too, didn't pay, but $400,000, $600,000. Artorius looks like a homebred. $260,000, $200,000, $170,000, all these horses at auction. This guy, it seems like a group.
Hometown long shot.
Yep, that's it.
I'll take it. I'll take that 3 with the long shot. So what's your real bet?
So I'm going to take Cyberknife again. You're right. If he's going to grind it out, if he's going to win, he's not going to win by much. If he's there, he's going to be there. So I'm going to play this one all day long. I'm going to go ahead because guys didn't play early voting. I'm going to
bet those head bob. That's
early voting. Early voting. Chad Brown's other. Again, we could just go ahead. I'm just going to take him. Whatever. He's at a gun runner. Gun runner's tough as could be.
You do an early voting Cyberknife.
Cyberknife first, early voting second, and I'm gonna wheel this Ain't Life Grand in the exacta. So I'm gonna play him 3, probably in the exacta box.
Cyberknife on the top.
I may just box all 3 and then play Cyberknife on top with the 2 behind it in the back too. So I'll do a $20 exacta straight Cyberknife over the 7-3, and then I'll do a $5 exacta box 137. But if you look at, I just want to go real quick. You guys picked this 5 horse, Brad and Dad. The 3 horse and the 5 horse, the 3 horse is better than the 5 horse. That's all I'm saying.
Whoa.
I'm just gonna drop the gauntlet on it.
I'm fighting words. I gotta agree with Dad though. Chad Brown wants to win this race. I mean, he has almost half the horses in the race.
Right.
Chad Brown's going to hit the board.
Yeah.
Well, that's, and the thing is, we didn't even really pick enough, if he doesn't hit the board, that's really bad news for him. But, it kind of goes, against some of what we're doing. I don't have, actually, if I go with the 3, I don't have Chad Brown in my mix. But then again, I'm only really taking 2 horses because, Epicenter, I really feel should smoke everybody. And then I'm just hoping Cyberknife nips him at the end. So I'm thinking my real breakdown of this race, what I expect to see is Epicenter sprinting away, jump ahead of everybody, and Cyberknife slickly sliding his way up, head bob for the finish line. That's what I want to see. That's going to be my victory.
So in summary,
Wait, can I stop?
What we're saying is don't pick the 2. Rich Strike is out. And don't pick the 4 Golden Age. Put money on every other horse in this race because we believe in something.
Right.
That's 6. We got 6 horses here, right? That's what it is. And that really holds true to what it is that we're dealing with here. And that's why this is a tough race because you got 8 horses.
1 minute.
And not one of them, is just head and shoulders above everybody else because
we have 1 minute to
beat
close.
Other ones in certain circumstances, and it just went back and forth like Dad said. They're kind of just trading wins, sharing the pots.
Epicenter's not going to the lead, bro. You got to check your pace form on here, man. Early voting is the pace horse. He's going to be up front. Epicenter's going to be in the back.
I know, but I expect Epicenter to pop out around that last turn and shoot for the lead, and I think Cyberknife is going to be a bit behind. I picture Epicenter is 2 or 3 wide around that last turn, maybe in the 4th position. I picture Cyberknife in the 7th spot, 6th spot, sliding up the rail.
Yeah, if it's Blind Bob at Monmouth Park, he's the Epicenter too. All right, so in conclusion, thanks everybody for joining us today for our analysis. We also have a sidebar notice. As you heard, my dad lives in the Poconos. If you have any elderly women in the 75 to 85-year-old range, may have a little bit of money, he's interested. He's nice to be around. 65. He has a good time. And he likes horse racing in the casinos. And that's in the Poconos. So if you know anybody, hit up Pop at the podcast, and we'll set you up.
He likes Slinky.
Meet him by the cove.
Yeah. Meet by the cove, baby.
If you got a senior group, he'll join.
If you got a senior group that needs help handicapping,
yes.
All right, so kind of summarize our bets here and our picks. We all have different reasons for picking who we picked, why we picked them. Some contradict each other, but that's kind of the horse race and value of everything. We got Glenn and Dan on the side of Cyberknife. And we got me and the old man on the side of I don't even know how to Artorius, the 5 horse. So that's our 2 picks as we
How do
look
you
at
say it, Dan?
Yep. 1 and 1A. There are 2 favorites between. We're kind of split at the house, and typically Dad's the chalk eater, and he didn't go that way, so maybe it's worth a little bit of a value bet here. Cyberknife for Glenn and Dan. Very good logic behind the pick. So good luck with our advice and our input. Hopefully
I think you sum it up, and if we were to sum it all up, you do the 1-5 exacta bucks. Call it a day.
Yep, and then drop the 3 in there for the long shot on the try and mix them all up and see what happens.
Shake it out.
Even if you don't use our picks or our thought, maybe you got something out of the thoughts that we provided, make you look in a different direction than what you were thinking. Hopefully we helped you out with enjoying this Travers race, the Summer Derby, the Have Fun Travers. So.
All right, Glenn, last words. What do you got? Still in the PPs.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back to this 8-1 early voting, guys. Early voting ran in the Wood Memorial and got beat by Mo Donegal, who won the Belmont by a neck. He comes out and he kicks the pants off of everybody in the Preakness, including Epicenter. He runs in a donkey-ass race with 4 horses in a Jim Dandy, and I got 8-1 on him. I'm playing him. Fuck them all.
How many horses were in the Preakness?
What, 8, 12? I don't know.
I forget.
I think 8. The Belmont was the short field this year.
I'll tell you. Hang on. Early voting. 9.
9 horses. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that Jim Dandy for me is just like so hard when you have those 4 horses all pretty much neck and neck, and Epicenter just takes them.
We could all look like that. This is how we should have started the podcast.
We could still do it. We could do it over again. One more time from the top.
No,
God damn it.
because I'm going to change my picks now.
No, because I want to do walrus teeth with my pretzel sticks.
We'll save these for next race.
God damn it.
There's the 5 right there, the 5.
The 5.
That's right.
5. The 5.
I've been fucking mushed. Rip the fucking tickets up. I almost threw it in the garbage when he started talking.
5.
That's where it's at.